Hello everyone, this is Carlito Fluito. Welcome to another Sunday session of 2022. This is group free assistance for all performing artists out there. And the topic of today is very relevant because today we are going to cover about how to tell in your story. So if you feel like you are not sure about how to tell your story in a way that catches the audience attention, and also very important, when you are meeting someone one-on-one setting, how you tell your story is going to influence how these people remember you for the future also, and which type of impact do you make on them. So we are going to explore this continuous reincarnation. I invite you to take that notebook, and we are starting right now, first with the who am I with my story. And before you skip this section, if you have already seen other Sunday sessions, today is special. Today I have a gift for you. I have a surprise for you. And the first of all is comparison is the censor of your story, as you know already if you have seen this video. Because I have been the censor of my own story for long, we are going to see which story, because I'm going to show you a video that I recorded in 2020 during the pandemic. And I haven't shown it so much, but today is the moment that I'm going to release it. My name is Carlito Fluito, and I help performing artists to improve their well-being. And I do this through helping in their professional stability, in their mental health, and also in their artistic growth, right? And this is the video of the pandemic, and I hope you enjoyed a lot, because I enjoyed doing it, and I know within the limitations, I think it was something that I like it. So please enjoy it.
Upside down? Are you still using your graduation photo as bedsheet when you sleep on the street? I was also there, but now everything has changed. My name is Carlito Fluito, not PhD. Listen to my story. I started doing breakdance in 2005. Then I did contemporary, and now I do physical theater. In 2014, I had my first spiritual experience, and I found inner peace. I also got enlightened so much that since then I teach and practice yoga, meditation, and a ton of other things. I've always loved art and traveling. I have lived in 7 cities, but today I want you to listen to my intellectual story. When I was little, I wasn't very good with numbers, and that's why I focus on ideas. I wanted to understand people, why we are the way we are. Therefore, when I finished high school, I went to Salamanca to study psychology on the university. Then I lived in Barcelona and in Leuven. When I finished the university, I wanted to make money, so I moved to Denmark. But I didn't make money. I became an artist. Over there, I was writing a lot, and I developed my performing skills. But I wanted to know more. I wanted to study the good things of life, the best of life. And that's why I specialized with 2 masters in positive psychology. However, there were so many possibilities, so many choices, that I was still confused. I didn't know what to choose. So I heard an inner call, and I went to India to learn yoga. When I came back to Spain, I was so obsessed with spirituality that I was going every day to the library of my city to study psychology of religion. I got so passionate about the topic, I liked it so much, that I was searching, and I found a PhD in Belgium. At the beginning, everything was great. I was very passionate about life, about the PhD. But little by little, I was falling into a depression. I was feeling lost, trapped. I didn't know what I was doing with my life over there. And I was feeling very lonely. Because of that loneliness, I fall into a toxic relationship. But it helped me. It helped me to reconnect with myself. And since then, I prioritize love and meaning of life. I quit with a PhD, and I became non-PhD. Today, the moment of taking the step has arrived. Welcome to my new transformation.
Oops. There we go. So, yeah, that's right. And if you want to know what happened after that, because I was creating testosterone, which is a longer version of my story, as well as moving to Africa, there is this book where I have included more of my stories, of my anecdotes, and also these big questions about identity, about relationships, and about meaning of life. So if you're interested in this, go check it out. And I hope you write on the comment box what do you think about the performance, because I enjoy a lot doing it. I have many anecdotes about it, and for me, seeing it from now, like 2 years later, it's still inspiring. Like, okay, that was fun. And now we move to you. Like, how are you feeling today? So you have a moment to train your speech, your elevator pitch. Yours is, so please open the comment box and write, what is your name? Where are you from? What do you dance? What do you practice? What are you passionate about? And what are you having difficulties with at this moment? Because I'm doing all these sessions for people like you that you need certain guidance or certain help with certain topics. So if you write, I read the comments and then I can create a new sessions covering this topic, right? What are your values and how are you feeling right now? And for that, I introduce you to the mood meter, where you can select a specific emotion. In the upper part, if your body is at like high energy. In the lower part, if your body is low energy. In the right, if you're feeling good. In the left, if you're feeling not so good. So how are you feeling now? Go to the YouTube comment box and please text it. And now we are going to do the warm-up with a story of a story, alright? So once upon a time, I wanted to take a walk. And I went outside of my house and I was like, okay, where am I going to go today? And I thought, okay, I can go to the park, and then I can go to the supermarket, then I can go to visit a friend, then I can go to take a coffee, and then I can go to a bar, and then I will go home. Yeah. No. And then I thought, okay, wait, why not I go first to the supermarket, then I go for a coffee, then I go visit a friend, then I go to the bar, and at the end I go to the park. Yeah. No. Why don't I go to the coffee first? Then I go visit my friend, then I go to the supermarket, then I go to the park, then I go to the bar. And then I start having different ideas and different possibilities and different combinations. At the end of the day, I found myself in front of my house thinking, okay, I don't know where to go, I don't know what should I do. So what I did was to sit in the bench that is in front of my house and wait there, trying to figure out how to do and where to go. Well, if you resonate with this story, the lesson here is we need certain clarity, we need certain structure so we can move forward and we can develop and build our story using this structure and we can move forward thanks to it. Make sense? Because it happens to me for a long time, many different possibilities, many different stories, and then I wasn't moving forward my stories, my books, my projects because of all these many possibilities, right? So to do a more deeper introduction in the topic, we are going to go for the playing camp. This is the section where we are playing with the concepts, and I invite you to create an instantaneous story. How? You choose a character, a location, and an action. In the case of the previous story was me, Carlos, location in front of house, an action figuring out where to go, right? And then the threaten, the danger, is something that appears on the way that is scary or is avoiding the protagonist of the story to be successful in their path. So I want to have a walk, and then the threaten is my own mind that is messing up and is giving me so many possibilities, right? And after this threaten has hindered the development of the protagonist, then the resolution. What happened in the previous story, in my case, was like, okay, I just sit on the bench and try to figure out things. That's the resolution. So this is the most basic structure, and I invite you to stop the video, came up with these three elements, and then the danger, right? And now the resolution is totally open to you, right? So this is an example of how many instantaneous stories you can create. In the case that I wrote in this slide is a mouse looking for food in the kitchen. Then the threaten, the danger, is this cat. The cat appears, and then the resolution. And the resolution can be many. The mouse and the cat can be friends, or the cat can catch the mouse and the mouse has to run away, or maybe the cat is very sick and needs some food as well. You know, it can be many, many, many things. So please come up with something. You can take notes in your notebook and you can create your first skeleton of this instantaneous story, right? And having said this, we can go to the meditation. In this meditation, we are going to do a creative visualization exercise. We are going to visualize our own story, and we are going to be generating and nurturing feelings of gratitude, right? So we are going to observe how is our own story and how have we gotten here. What have been the different episodes of our own story that have made us to arrive here. So please sit with your back straight, breathe in deeply, and with the breath out, you can let your eyes close. Keep on breathing deeply, breathing in, and with the breath out, relax your body. Breathing deeply again through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth, relaxing your mind. Breathing in deeply through the nose. Breathing out. Notice your breath. Notice your focus. And now I invite you to visualize yourself in this room, in this present moment. And you can see where you are, in which moment of life are you, what have you done. You can feel some gratitude for this, for good things that have happened recently, like for the things you have around. If you are in a house, for the house you have. If you have friends, for the friends you have. If you have a job or an occupation, for that occupation you have. And now we're gonna go back in time, back in time, back in time. Days, weeks, months, and years. And let's go, for example, 10 years back on time. And let's look to the front. And let's start building this story of ourselves. So how, from 10 years back, are we going to arrive to the present moment? And we can start introducing these elements, the different characters, the different situations and locations, the different actions, the different dangers that happen and appear on the way, and the resolutions. And we are going to feel gratitude for all the characters that appear on our story throughout these years. We can feel grateful for these locations, and we can feel grateful for ourselves, for all these actions that we were taking. And even we can feel grateful for all these obstacles and these dangers that made us grow so much. They were also necessary in our path. You can observe the resolution of one episode and how this resolution moves you to another story, another reincarnation of yourself from your past. And it can go from 10 years to 7 years, 5 years. Feeling gratitude for the different characters that appear in your story. Feeling gratitude for the different locations. Feeling gratitude for your different selves and for the actions that you take, and for all these obstacles and dangers. And we can move forward on time, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year ago, which have been the new characters that are entering into your life. the new locations, the new obstacles and difficulties, and how you resolve these situations. You can feel gratitude for yourself, for the others, also for these obstacles you can feel the gratitude, and you can observe and understand and interiorize how all these events have helped you so much to grow and to become the person that you are today. And you can repeat mentally this sentence after me: I thank my past or my future. I thank my past or my future. Because now that you have gone through all this past story, now you know you have another story still to be written that depends on you, story towards the future. So breathing in deeply, connecting with this feeling of gratitude and this feeling of empowerment toward the future. With the breathing, connect with your breath, connect with your mind, connect with your body. Breathing out, letting your eyes open slowly. Wow, that was powerful, right? And if you want to know more about empowerment, I'm preparing this new concept. It's called Empowering Talks, and these are happening every Wednesday at 8 in English. And the price of these ones will be 15 euros. And here we are focused on mental health, mental resilience, and mental well-being, right? So in the topic of one session that already happened, the topic was about forgiveness for ourselves, admiration for ourselves, and compromise for ourselves. So we were focused on how to relate with ourselves in a healthier way, in a more loving way, with a lot of compassion, and how to heal wounds of the past, right? And more than that, then once we heal the past, we love the present, then we move towards the future, right? And then we compromise to take steps towards the direction that we choose. So after have visualized your story about the future, these type of talks are wonderful for you because they are going to help you to love yourself much more deeper and then to move forward towards the goal that you want. So if you are interested, please write in the comment box like that you are interested, and then I will contact you, and then we can discuss about the different questions that you might have, and I can see how can I help you, right? And now we go for the theory. So in the theory, I want to present you this classic three-act structure, which for me has been very, very helpful when I organize these long performances, when I prepare long performances. It helped me, for example, to rehearse in different scenes, right? So in many performances that I create, when they have a narrative, then they go like Act 1, the setup, Act 2, the confrontation with this big twist at the middle, and finally the resolution. So if you are struggling with coming up with a clear idea, or if you are struggling with rehearsing a big piece or understanding or getting the grasp of a big piece, this structure is a classic, but it works so well and is so much inside all the stories. So I fully invite you that when you are telling a story, be conscious of how you structure your story so it fits to this three-act structure, right? And another structure that I'm going to give you is the hero's journey, also very, very powerful, very a classic. Many tales, many stories, they use this structure. You know, it's unconscious, but the structure is there and it's wonderful. So this is the classic of the Lion King, for example, no? How the Lion King has to go from the known, which is to be the son of Mufasa and Simba. So from Simba, he's the son, and then he has to learn to go to the unknown, like the father dies, and then he has to start evolving and learning and growing. So this is the mentor and the helper, right? And the abyss is where all he realizes how everything is going to hell because of the Scar, the bad guy, and then he has to transform himself and realize, okay, now I have to do this, I have to fight. And then it's the return when the same character comes back to the tribe, to the original place, fully transformed. So this story is very powerful and is within our minds, right? So the power of stories here is like we use stories to communicate information, right? And the point is like the story is the vehicle, but the important content is the information. So stories have been said by human beings all our story through around the fire, for example. So when someone came from hunting, he told the story. I was hunting, set up, and then this lion appeared, confrontation, a second act, and then I ran away and I got saved. Third resolution, right? And then people already learned that, okay, if there is a lion, then you run away, right? So that's the information that people have to remember. And maybe instead of running away, which is very obvious, then the guy was thinking that he went up a specific tree and throw a specific fruit to distract the monkey, to distract the lion, or something like this. So then you remember this tree, this fruit, this animal, and the story is just the glue that is sticking that information into your brain. Make sense? Because we go for the boot ground, right? And now here is where we are going to practice. So we are going to create something called an anecdotes book, right? So I'm inviting you in your notebook right now, take some notes. You can stop the video whenever you want, whenever you need. Important moments for you, right? So write down a list of important moments from your life and also another list of funny anecdotes and also moments of big learning, right? Because those are going to be your anecdotes. The next thing, for example, is we are going to apply this 3-act structure or this hero journey to your own anecdotes. And if you cannot come up with your own anecdotes, I am asking you, how did you become a performing artist? This is your personal story concerning your professional life and your artistic life. And then you can come up with Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. When you come to the live sessions, then we have interactive exercises. So you could be doing this with me and I could be helping you and guiding you through this process. Now you can always write on the comment and we can set up a session together. And finally, and another one is what was the last time you were afraid? Why? Because fear is an emotion, and when we put emotion in our stories, we grab people's attention. And especially for fear, people listen more carefully because this is something valuable for them, right? Because if you were feared, this means like you were in danger. And if you tell me the story about your fear, about your danger, then I can learn from your danger for me to avoid it in the future and to know how to behave if it happens. You remember the story of the lion and the hunter that is around the forest, right? So he was afraid with the lion, and then I'm learning, because that's the problem, that's the threat, that if there is a lion, I have to behave like so and like so, right? So you have another powerful story here. What was the last time you were afraid? And this can be the last time, or this can be one that was very intense for you. I could tell one, but in another occasion, when we meet, you can ask me, what was the last time you were afraid? And I can tell you that there are so many on the book, as well as when I was in India, I almost died at least once, at several times. I have been very close to death. So, in the anecdotes books also, you can work more to fiction, to writing fiction instead of non-fiction. If you write your own stories, it's non-fiction. But also you can come up with automatic stories, or you can do these creative exercises. For example, you need to write a story with a bar, an elephant, a earthquake, and an email. And you are totally free of doing whatever, you know? So it can be like, I went to a bar and then I saw a picture of an elephant and suddenly they start to make this big earthquake and the picture of the elephant just fell into the barman and it hit on the head. So he was on the floor while the earthquake was happening, and I had to take him and I had to write an email very quickly to the hospital. Please come here, right? And when the ambulance arrived, then I put the guy into the ambulance and I went with him. And when I arrived to the hospital, the guy told me like, please write another email to my wife. And then I had to write another email, and then the wife came. Make sense? I hadn't prepared this. This is just my mind speaking things. So everybody can create these stories, right? And we arrive almost to the end, to the consolidation. So for this week, I invite you to create your personal stories and to share your anecdotes. So the challenge for this week is go to someone, meet someone new, and tell them your personal story, right? How did you become a performing artist? And if you know already each other, you can tell them what was the last time you feel afraid. And the challenge is like, tell the story, okay? So find your own voice, find your own way of telling stories, but be conscious on following this structure, like 1, 2, 3, 3-act structure. And then you're gonna be much more powerful. And put emotions in your story, okay? Having said this, I want to introduce you very briefly. If this is the first time you discover Raining Rosas, we are helping performing artists, as we mentioned. In the website, you can find the different services. So we have these free Sunday sessions, and we also have online courses about speed methodologies for creating. We have also mental health talks for schools, and we have individual sessions. As you have seen, there are 3 main topics. So this can be concerning your professional stability, or your mental health, or your artistic growth. So depending on which moment of life are you might be benefited by one of these. And this is a program. This is the 3 steps to start your next performance program, where you can see that we are covering the 3 elements of Raining Rosas. So in the ideas, we work more towards the artistic growth. In the procrastination, your professional stability. And if you are going through perfectionism, then it's your mental health, right? So through this program, you're going to learn how to organize your ideas, to beat procrastination, and to avoid perfectionism, so you can finish your first performance in 1 month or 4 months, depending on the modality that you are taking to follow this program, right? And this is going to be a journey that we are going to see each other every week, constantly, and we are going to cover all these different topics, like how to create a narrative, how to change your identity into someone that is always focused and working, and finally, the 1.0 version, which is a mindset that is going to totally transform how you behave and how you relate with your creations, right? So if you are interested in this, please write on the comment box, and I will send you much more information about how to participate in this program. And finally, for the next session, we are going to focus on a topic that is very, very powerful, which is about energy, right? And this is endless energy. So if you are very tired in many occasions, or after many training of many rehearsals, and you cannot move, and you cannot like almost bear your mind and walk around life, this is going to be so powerful, because we are going to learn a methodology, a technique that is going to allow you to reset the system and to rest deeply. So in my personal case, in 20 minutes nap, 20 minutes siesta, this is like a power exponential nap, right? So for me, it feels like I have slept 2-3 hours, and it allows me to have energy all throughout the day, next day. And finally, if you have any other question, first of all, look for and find out and think about a friend that is trying to tell stories lately that you think that this session will help them a lot. Or maybe the next session about not having energy, think about a person that is going to have a lot of benefit from watching the next session, right? And then just share the video or invite them to come live on the Sunday sessions. If you have any other questions, you have the comment box, please write it there. And if you want to give me feedback, I'm always extremely happy to get to know what did you like, what was the most valuable, and what other topics do you want me to cover in the future. This is how we are progressing, because February is almost done already, and these are all the exercises, all the stories that we cover. For example, today we had this lack of direction and structure in the story. We had the game of instantaneous stories. We practiced gratitude with our own story. In theory, we did the 3 acts and the hero journey, and in the bootground we had our anecdotes notebook. So please work on the exercises, share your story through the week, and thank you very much for your time. This was Carlito Flito from Raining Rosas, and I hope to see you in the next Sunday session on live, or otherwise here in the recorded version. Thank you very much, and bye bye.